For international students, ICE announcing recently, just yesterday, that they are reversing their policy change that allowed international students to stay in this country even though they're taking online classes. This is obviously due to universities transitioning to online classes from the pandemic. Well, it's a policy change that has international students speaking out.
The country stands to benefit from us, and all we want is to follow the law and do it right. But if you are not allowing the best people from all over the world to come to study in this country and contribute, who do you believe can immigrate to this country? No one.
Now, that's Daniel D. Martino. He's supposed to go to Columbia this fall to study for his Ph.D., an opportunity that's now in jeopardy because of the policy reversal. Now, that policy is called the Student and Exchange Visitor Program, or SEVP for short. It's the program that granted student visas for international students. The only caveat is that the student must enroll at a university with in-person class instruction. Now, when COVID forced universities to transition to online classes, ICE granted an exception to the rule for all international students through the rest of the spring semester and for the summer classes. But on Monday, ICE announcing that they will reverse the exception. Only problem is that universities are still trying to figure out if they'll have online or in-person instruction for the fall semester, essentially putting the lives of international students in limbo.
Well, I think it's plain evil because there is literally no one will benefit from this rule. I just hope the classes are hybrid, because if they're online, I'm going to have to leave all my belongings here in Kentucky. I have a car, I have bed, desks, I have clothes. How am I going to take that to Spain to live for 6 months? I can only take one bag. How am I going to find a flight? How much am I going to have to pay for this?
Enforcement announcing a policy reversal that could put thousands of international students in jeopardy of deportation. The rule says international students who are enrolled in online classes full-time have to go back to their home countries. They are required to take some in-person instruction, but that decision's on the school. Yesterday, we talked on the show about Harvard going all online. Today, we talked to Daniel D. Martino. He's supposed to go to Columbia this fall to study for his Ph.D., and that opportunity is now in jeopardy because of the policy reversal.
Country stands to benefit from us, and all we want is to follow the law and do it right. But if you are not allowing the best people from all over the world to come to study in this country and contribute, who do you believe can immigrate to this country? No one.
Now, ICE's Student and Exchange Visitor Program said students could transfer to school with in-person instruction to remain in legal status. But this is a big shakeup for students. I have some thoughts, but I want to start with you, Guy. Like it or not?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I got some big thoughts, too. I don't like it, Jim, and I'll tell you why. One, it encourages schools to fully reopen when we're dealing with one of the pandemics of our time, and that happens to be the coronavirus. Two, it targets foreign students, and it forces them to leave based upon no wrongdoing of their own. They're telling them, bye-bye, you got to go. And three, we've all really been focusing on the economy as of late. It's about, really restarting the economy. And when you look at it, forcing these students to leave will really affect billions and billions of dollars that could go toward our GDP. So in essence, it's counterproductive. I don't like it, not one bit.
Marina, let's go to you.
Yeah, I mean, it seems incredibly short-sighted, and I don't believe the reasoning behind it either. I think that if you believe that it's because of the pandemic and you obviously don't want to increase the risk in this country, then you move to other types of mechanisms like testing and make it more rigorous for these students. But again, these are the most motivated, smartest, and the best that we are bringing into this country and hoping that they'll stay here, that they will contribute. And somehow we're now turning them away. It makes no sense. And I also wonder, does this open the door not just for students who are on student visas, but what about everybody else who's out here on a visa trying to work and live the American dream and paying taxes, might I add, and trying to contribute to the society? It makes no sense.
Hey, just before we go to Tisha, I just want to point out, so Daniel D. Martino, we know him. He's done Final Five with us many times. Daniel is a bright student. His family came from Venezuela. Daniel spent some time in the Oval Office with President Trump when it came to this big push against socialism. And Daniel, to me, is, again, an incredibly bright, as you said, best of the best type of student. And this directly affects him. And you see this, again, somebody who, this is not about politics here. This is, again, somebody who very much supports President Trump and what he's done. And you see this, it's almost, Tisha, I guess some people see this like almost as a betrayal.